What up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up? Shalom. Y'all got your coffee or what? It's all about that Don Francisco.
No, I don't drink no Don Francisco.
Triple. Man. I'm scared of trying that Bustelo. I don't want to be let down, you know?
You gotta be joking.
Yeah.
Let down? I don't think so.
I want to make sure it wakes me up because that's the best part of waking up.
Wake up. It's not gonna wake you up. It's gonna put you on roller wheels. Hey Dre, can you hear me, bro? Buddy. CJ and Phil, we haven't done the flesh of Jesus Christ, right? The communion, right? We haven't done the communion here. Eat of the flesh.
I mean, I
We
think
haven't.
we've maybe touched on it, but not like gone through that specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
But I want to go through
There's
Psalms
just so
22.
much. Yeah. I went all the way back to Genesis, man. Last
When's the
night.
last When's the last time you read Psalms 22?
22, let me see.
Like all the way through? What are you doing, bro?
I hear a lot of parakeets and parrots, eagles.
No, there's no eagles. We have woodpeckers, we have
You just,
cardinals, we have blue jays, we have sparrows. We have them all back in my backyard.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Psalm 22, huh? Isn't that the one that says, "My Lord said to my Lord," and this is where the
No,
one people get at. That's the one.
no, no.
Yeah.
It says,
No, it
that's the
says
one
my
that
God, my
says, my
God.
God. Yeah.
It says my
Oh
God,
my
my
God, my
God,
God, why hast thou spared me?
Why hast thou forsaken me?
forsaken.
Yeah, in Greek, forsaken,
And it
correct.
also says, but I am a worm and no man, a reproach of men and despised by the people. All those who
Yeah.
see me ridicule me.
Yeah.
They shout out.
I would read it, but I feel like he would start his music right in the middle of it. His intro. Excuse me. Thank you. I don't need your help on there, little bubs.
Oh yeah, Psalm 20.
You know what's weird? Verse 15, where it says, my strength is dried up
Mm-hmm.
like a potsherd, and scientists will say that literally all the water in his body had dried up.
Oh. Yeah. For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. Yeah, they're just talking about Jesus. David talking about Jesus.
And maybe we should go over that story of sure, I went over it last night with the warden because the warden's all like, "Oh no, we gotta read this story, so we can refresh our mind." It's the story how Elijah, uh, poured water all over that altar, and then fire from heaven came and took the sacrifice, consumed it. Y'all remember that story?
Yeah.
So much barbecue happened at that time. So it's like, man, we should go over it.
For the barbecue?
CJ,
So,
I want you to sing us a worship song or something.
uh, you're silly.
How's everybody doing?
Blessed and
Amazing.
highly favored.
Well, we had a live last night, and we talked about This guy came up and talked about the Shroud of Turin. I wanted Trot to come through because it was a medical guy. Really interesting conversation. However, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I don't necessarily believe that the shroud is true because it would be kind of like an image of God, and we know that like Romans condemns icons and things of that nature. And throughout the Bible, you'll see like images and icons. It's very dangerous because the carnal mind is so evil that it'll start worshiping an image and forget about the actual one true God. So I don't believe that the shroud is true, but it was an interesting conversation and it turned into that particular conversation of icons and statues and stuff like that in the apostolic churches. And, some people got hurt about it, but I just don't agree that that is I don't need a physical thing to push me into the spiritual thing. I just don't see that as a thing. I don't need to look at a picture and be like, oh, this picture of St. Joseph makes me want to just go pray more. No, I don't see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard so many things about the shroud. I've heard so many mixed things about that.
That's my buddy. He'll tell you that picture, that shroud is of Jacques de Molay, which was a 1900s um, picture of Jacques de Molay. Kind of does.
Yeah.
The shroud is dated back to the 1300s, even though the doctor was saying that it was repaired in the 1300s, but it goes further back. But they haven't been able to prove that it goes back to 33 AD. So therefore, for me, that is a big one. Like that is obviously, and Jacques de Molay was crucified like Christ as a mockery, and he was wrapped in a shroud just like Christ. So it could be very, very much so that it is Jacques de Molay and not Jesus.
Mm. Yeah. Which, I mean, I would say what you were saying as far as like our carnal minds can cause us to do many things. I mean, we do that with the Bible, I would say. Focus on the apostles and like their lives instead of the relationship with Jesus.
Yeah, right. Why would God leave? Why would behind? And
Yeah.
why would 13 like, sense to me? It's like I believe the Catholic Church, they have quote unquote the foreskin of Christ. And allegedly the foreskin of Christ was doing miracles in the medieval ages, 1300s or so. Like wild stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
And here's another thing, CJ, this is what I told the guy. I said, if the shroud is real, the minute you touch that thing, you should be healed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. That's
100%.
true. Yeah. That's true. Oh, geez.
What are y'all talking about?
The
The
Shroud of
shroud.
Turin.
Oh, the shroud. Oh. Well,
Interesting.
yeah, I got on that I went on that live for I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, maybe not 3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I heard that guy speaking a little bit. What were you saying about that dude exactly, Dre?
He's a doctor, he's a scientist that works closely with the shroud and he's a shroudist. You know, he's not a Trinitarian, he's a shroudist. No,
Oh,
he's
he's a
actually a really nice.
shroudist.
No, he's a nice guy. He's a
Oh.
nice guy. He just really believes he's a scientist, so he geeks out on the stuff that they find on it. I think it's interesting, but he's not saying that it's Jesus in the shroud. He's just pointing out the scientific evidence for the shroud, which I think was really interesting because he wasn't like, "This is Jesus" like off top, but he was just sharing like he said, like it was like so many.
How long? Let me say this. How long has he been? How long has he been working with the shroud?
Oh man, like 10 years, man. This guy's been.
Well, okay. Well, I think he learned his first 10 days. He better not start saying this is Jesus. So he had time to learn his lesson. That's probably not something you need to be saying.
Yeah.
So
No, it was the science behind it that was interesting. Like they say like it was like they said it was like a a light force so powerful that it was like this like the grid of the United States lights for it to do what it did. And scientifically speaking, they have ways of checking like the lumens of how it hit, and basically it was like in a split second. If you were there when supposedly the light hit the shroud, that the average human being would be blinded by it because it was that powerful, it was that intense, is what scientists have proven supposedly.
yeah.
So, I don't think it's Christ. I think it's Jack D. Molay. But at the end of the day, it was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, they say Christ went through it, and his light took a photo of himself. It's a photo.
Yeah, I don't think God would do that though. That's what I kept telling him. I was like, bro, listen. First of all, if the shroud is really Christ and that is really His blood, the minute you touch it, you should be like completely healed. You might as well walk around like Benny Hinn with that thing and touching everybody with it because everybody's about to get healed with the blood.
Now, what we ought to do, we take the shroud, we add a little water, put it in a blender, and make it a paste, and then stick it like in a huge like lake or a ocean, or a huge, and just let it dissolve throughout the whole thing, and then we just have the whole world walk through that bad boy.
There you go.
I mean, it's common sense, guys. It's common sense.
That's what I was trying to tell him, but he's like, well, because my thing was like, I kept saying, can you date it back to 33 AD? That is my question. That's it. He's like, well, we haven't been able to do that yet, but science is. I was like, yeah, no, that's good enough for me. That is Jackie Molay.
Well, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about the shroud. Mother Mary was on my French toast this morning after I made it, and there's no way I could have possibly done that myself. So.
I thought I saw Peter in my cereal this morning.
No, bro. There's no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way. He was on the other side of my toes. He can't be at two places at once, bro. He's not God. Calm down. Yeah. Yeah. How long was that live up,
He
Dre?
talked to us for about, I don't know, maybe he talked to us for maybe 30 minutes. It wasn't very well. The live went longer than that, but the actual conversation with the doctor was only like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Huh. Well. Huh.
Yeah, he was a nice guy, man. He was a nice guy. He's just a scientist, bro. These people geek out on certain things, and that was that.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. Well. Man, my dog, dude, the outside dog, bro, he barked. Hold on. Bro, he barked all night, and I couldn't figure out what he's barking at. And I still don't know what he's barking at.
A raccoon, a
Huh?
field mice? A raccoon, a field mice?
Nah, he don't do that, bro. Nah, at night, it's like...
A snake?
No, if it was a snake, he'd be looking down at the ground. So I went out there a few times to look at him, and half the time he's laying down. So half of the
have
time,
creepy crawlers. You have spirits running around.
Oh my Lord, have mercy! Oh man, that's what it is.
They call them
that's
the children of the night. The black-eyed kids. The black eyes.
The
black
eye. The grays. The grays.
Well,
the grays.
actually, they're calling them the grays now, but they used to be called the black-eyed children, where their eyes were all just black. Yeah.
The black-eyed children. Oh my Lord! That's what they call them, black-eyed children, because they.
Isn't that the children of the corn or what?
No, not the children of the corn.
Yeah, bro, children of the corn. Children of the corn. That movie's so weird.
That scared the daylights out of me. I hated that movie. That's right up there with The Exorcist, okay?
Children of the Corn.
Yeah, the children of the
corn. It was a stupid movie, but it was scary.
At night, man. At night, he if he's barking, sometimes it's because like there's like coyotes like on the other side of the creek, or there are some dogs. And I'm not kidding you. These dogs, and I'm not talking about the next door neighbor dogs, but these dogs that I'm referring to, bro, they're like a mile away, and they'll try to bark at each other, and like.
Is there cats? Could it be cats he's barking at?
No,
stray cats?
No. Well, we live out in the country, so there ain't no stray nothing out here.
Skinwalkers.
If it didn't survive the night, it ain't here. But I don't know how to explain what he does, man. But he just wouldn't stop. I'm like, bro, what are you barking at? Now, when he first started, it was because he was trying to talk to those dogs that are like a mile away. Like, it's funny because he'll bark, and he's trying to talk to them because he does one long, like, instead of his bark going roar, it's like roar. like I want this to get to you.
Yeah, so it goes longer.
Oh, I'm not kidding, dude. When he talks to them other dogs, that's how he barks. And so he does that long bark. He'll wait a couple seconds, do it again. Wait a couple of seconds, do it again, and if you listen, you'll hear the other dogs kind of doing the same thing, like if they're talking. And if he's not doing that kind of bark, then you don't hear the other dogs do their bark. But if he's doing that long, slow bark, dude, they do it too. And I know it sounds weird, but they communicate with each other, and I can tell when he's doing that.
Do.
But he wasn't
they say
doing
that they know. They say that animals literally communicate with each other and they understand each other. So I'm gonna put it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
pack
think,
them.
Haven't you ever
I
seen
think,
101 Dalmatians?
yeah,
About
dude, you took it right out of my mouth, CJ. I was just gonna say Pongo and Purdy lost their puppies again, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, but he was the one I'm talking about though is because he'll lay down and do that. He'll just face them. He's make sure he's facing them, and he'll be laying on the ground doing that. Roar! And and of course the coyotes. I need to go coyote hunting again.
Chained up, or he's in a cage, or he's free.
Yeah, he's free, man.
So
Yeah,
he'll
yeah,
just sit there and do that.
yeah, and he's right in front of the house. Like if I
Oh, that's
walk out the
probably his
front
way
door.
of letting them know, don't come over here. I'm over here. Yeah, that's probably what he's telling them. You know what? I'm not going to get up. I'm just going to warn you from afar.
I'm
That's
not
what
even
he.
gonna get
Yeah.
up. Don't come
Yeah,
over.
I'm just going to
What I'm
sit here
saying,
and
what I'm
let you
saying,
know.
And
no,
he's a big fluffy dog too, boy. He's a big fluffy dog. So they
yeah,
couldn't
he's free.
even if they tried to attack him, he's so thick, his fur is so thick, bro, they couldn't get through to him, bro.
Yeah, no, it'd be hard it would probably take 4 or 5, no, maybe 6, dude, coyotes to hurt him, dude. Like he's he is his fur is so thick. Like they would get a mouth full of nothing but fur.
Oh yeah.
Like
They
and
wouldn't get a hold of nothing.
yeah, coyotes aren't very big, and I've seen one a decent size. But it would take like 6 of the decent size ones, and they're not all decent size. Some of them are actually like like a big fox, So they're not very big.
Yeah, and if he was getting jumped, I would hope you would cut Trot loose on there to help him out.
Yeah, oh dude, yeah. Trot got a hold of one time, dude. And I didn't know that's what it was, but he came back and Trot's top of his head was bleeding. And I was like, what in the world? And see, that ain't going to happen to Cooper. They try to bite Cooper, man, his fur will blow up in their mouth. Like they wouldn't be able to bite down, even on his head. Well, Trot's a lab, so he don't got all that fur.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but,
I was
but,
actually
but he has a real thick collar. Like even a pit bull wouldn't be able to unalive Trot. That collar would get caught up in that mouth and the teeth, and they'd have nothing to bite on. They'd be biting on nothing but collar. And
yeah, that's what saved my Frenchie yesterday, bro. He has a thick
what?
collar on.
Yeah.
He has a thick collar on, and I walked in, and for some reason, um, the lab and the Frenchie have been fighting a lot recently, and I think because I got the puppy, so the lab Kisses is a female, and I think she tries to like protect the puppy, and the Frenchie he doesn't like the puppy. They're both males, and he tries to punk the puppy. But yesterday I walked in, man, my lab had the Frenchie on his back. You hear me? And her mouth was all around his neck. And if it
Man.
wasn't for that collar, bro, he would have been in trouble. You hear me? Because
Yeah.
she was tearing him up, boy, like she was a pit bull, boy. She was shaking him. I seen
Yeah.
her. I seen her shake. I seen her shake. Skunks like that, bro. She's unalive skunks smell horrible. Remember I told you that day? I was like, dude, this dog stinks. And you gave me that recipe to try to
Mm.
help her out. But
Oh
she'll
yeah.
destroy some things, boy. She don't play. I seen her toss cats around
Yeah.
like it's a rag toy. The
Yeah.
cats,
Yeah.
the
You
feral
have to.
cats. Oh yeah, them feral cats be getting the
Yeah.
business out here.
Yeah. Yeah. In the country, man, I know there's a lot of guys that a lot they don't care. They won't put a collar or nothing on their dog, and I'm like, man, like you never know. Like maybe not right here exactly where I'm at, but in the area, okay, like in the area, uh, every once in a while, bro, there'll be like a sighting of and I don't know what it is. I didn't see it. Okay. It's not a Sasquatch. It's nothing crazy, but it'll be like what you would call like a mountain lion. Okay. Like a big cat, not a lion, like a safari, but like a mountain lion, a panther or something. And a few years ago, there was a Oh, Mac's in here. Mac, I ain't seen Mac in a minute. What's up, bro? There was a cow that was like real beat up on its backside, and bro, I saw the photos. It didn't die, bro. It was claws, big ones, dude, on the back of this cow, and it wasn't a full grown cow, but it wasn't really a calf either. It was like right in between. And I mean, I don't know what else you would call that, bro. It literally looked like a big cat was trying to like take this thing down, and it had those kind of claw marks, and it was in the right spot. It was literally in the spot where they would be if an animal was like a big cat or something got behind it and tried to jump on it. And you could tell it tried several times to take it down because the claw marks were in this cow, several lashes, dude. It wasn't just one or two tries. It might have been 10 or 15. And, nobody else's animal in the area got attacked like that for like a few days. And then it was somebody else's property. And so I think it happened 3 times. And, what people think around here is whenever that word got out that someone's animal, everybody put up their game cameras and basically went hunting on their property for it, and somebody got it and didn't tell anybody because that does happen. Things like that will happen around here, and somebody will go send it several miles away from here and get a taxidermist to work on it and never tell anybody where they got it and just kind of make it look like they went to the Himalayas and got some exotic animal or something, but for that to happen 3 times, like in a matter of a week or so, yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but it wasn't nobody with barbed wire going around scratching up cows. There was a guy, I want to say his last name was Blue. Was his last name Blue? I think his last name was Blue. And he was on the cover of the National Geographic like several times for having like the most decorated either house or room of taxidermist animals. And it's out here in this area, in the Dallas area. I just don't remember exactly where it's at. And I went to school with his granddaughter, I think. And one day I was on the phone with her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm at the house right now." And I just can't remember exactly where she was at. I think she might have said Kaufman. I don't remember, but she's like, "Yeah, my granddad's the one." And come on, dude, back in those days, in high school, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, your granddad's the one that, she's like, "Yeah, that's him." I'm like, okay. So it's out here in Texas somewhere, this area. Like all these exotic animals. He had to obviously go everywhere like in the world and bring those animals back and decorate his house. But anyway, what's on the agenda? What's on your mind in the morning?
Well, I was saying First Kings, or hold up, not First Kings, my bad. It was I think it was First Kings, but it's a story where Elijah poured water all over the altar and all that because the warden wanted to read it, and I was like, "Hey, this sounds so familiar."
You're talking about when Elijah killed 450 prophets of Baal?
Yeah, and
That
then
one?
he made it like a sacrifice to God, and he was basically battling these people, and he was all like, "Hey, my God is the real God. I'm gonna pour water all over the
Yeah.
altar." Yep,
Yeah,
that's the
dude, I
one.
could have swore we went over that like 2 months ago.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, really? Oh, we
Yeah,
did.
dude.
Oh, well, dang.
Bro,
Cracking up, bro. Remember we were laughing at how Elijah was making fun of the prophets of Baal, like literally, like is your God on vacation?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, okay.
Why did you bring up your why'd you bring up the warden, your warden there?
Well,
Is
because
she is she
she
is she
she
there?
she
Is she
she's
there to
wanting.
listen?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm
Oh.
I'm in my car. Yeah. But yeah, we was
Oh.
reading that last night, man, and I have like a certain Bible where I could see, specifically see Jesus in the Old Testament in Hebrew. So it's like, oh, here it's pointing Jesus is here, Jesus is there. So it's like, I was telling her about it, and she's like, well, let's focus on the story. And I'm like, no, you can't. I was like, you
She
can't
said,
skip
"Oh,
that.
hold on, time out, bro. Hold on a second, bro. Hold on a second. Hold on. So you're wanting to talk about Jesus, and she says, no, let's focus on the story. Okay, hold
Yeah,
on. Let me ask you. Hold on, let me ask you real quick.
yeah.
Is that because maybe she's not very familiar with the story?
Oh no, she honestly, I mean, she's more familiar with like the stories of the Old Testament than I am. So she's like trying to refresh my mind with like all these stories and all that, of the Old Testament. But I'm studying the word. I don't just like reading it.
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah. And there's
I'm
nothing
like, oh,
wrong.
this is, huh?
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong though there's nothing wrong with being familiar with the story. There's nothing wrong with that. So, uh, matter of fact, that's
Yeah.
what helps. That's what helps. So, um, because the black letters on the white page, um, those have to be used in order for anything else to, you know, to to make sense. I mean, that obviously has to be known. So obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. But so, bro, what do you mean you got a Bible? What did you say? I got a Bible that. How did
Points
you
out
just word
Jesus
that,
in the
bro?
Hebrew.
What do you mean you got a Bible that shows you Jesus? What are you talking about?
So I have a specific Bible where it says, like, for example, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. And there's a specific Hebrew lettering. It's like Hebrews 226 or something like that. And it's the
Okay.
Aleph Tav. And basically
Oh,
what
okay,
that
my
is,
bad. Yeah, you're talking about the
yeah.
Hebrew language. The Hebrew language. Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah. I'm sorry.
no. It's not a
Oh,
Hebrew. It's written in King James, but it has specifically these Hebrew letterings in each time that Jesus is there. So I have that kind of
Oh, okay. Hold on a
Bible.
second. Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. Okay, you're saying while you're reading it in English, there will be some
Yeah.
Hebrew language there, right there in front of you.
Yeah, it's like intertwined with,
Okay.
yeah, it's like imprinted on the black letters. Yeah.
Oh, does it help you? Does it help you see that Moses' rod is Jesus?
Yeah. It
Oh,
definitely
okay.
does.
Cool.
Yeah, so it shows like the rod, it shows like, when specific people talk, it shows whenever like for instance, for example, when Eve bit
So you
the
bought a hold on a second. Hold on a second. So you bought a cheap book.
in a way, yes. And it
uh,
helped.
well, I didn't. Hey, I didn't even know they had that. What is that called?
So it's called the Aleph Scripture. And it's
Okay, wait,
you
wait,
know
wait. Hold on, whoa. Hold on. Say that slower. What?
so Aleph, like the first letter of the Hebrew.
Okay. Aleph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tav is the last letter of the Hebrew.
No. Say the whole name again. Say the whole name again of the
So
book.
it's the Aleph Tav Scriptures.
Oh, Aleph Top
Yeah,
Scriptures. Okay.
yeah, and it's cool, man. Like, it even points out when what do you call it? When Eve, took of the forbidden fruit, and it points in Hebrew that it was a curse. So it makes it, you basically familiar yourself, or how do you say that word? Familiarize yourself with, like, you know when God cuts somebody off, out of like, you know It's hard to explain, but I mean, once you read it,
Does
you
it
see.
does it does it does it let you know that Jesus is the tree of life?
That I haven't got to yet because I've been studying other stuff, but I'll check it out though.
Yeah, I'm curious on how accurate it is, because on some
Yeah.
of the parables, like in some of the parables, through the whole Bible, it would be. I'm thinking about how they would. That would be impossible for them to be able to point out some of the things that are in there, but because of the Hebrew language, man, there's so many that would be so obvious. So that'd be a good tool.
Oh yeah. It really helps me out.
Yeah.
Like
The
it
only
points out
thing that
every single time where, that's how I figured out what that sign of grace where, God placed the mark on Cain, and the same mark
okay.
is applied on the token of when God said, "I'm gonna give you guys a token," which is that rainbow, the grace. And it
Yeah.
literally
What about
pointed
it?
that out. I was like, that helped me out like right there, So it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, I just studied the whole thing in Hebrew, so that does the same thing too. It just takes longer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's very time consuming. It's not
That's the
easy,
right way to do it.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that
Let's
we won't
see.
need you once we get that Bible.
We won't need try if
Guy
we get that.
Trot is
What?
hilarious, bro. He's like,
We already
yeah,
don't
well,
need.
yeah, I already know. You just go ahead and just go learn Hebrew. It'll just take you 10 years. It's all right. You'll get it.
Well, I mean, it might just take
Uh,
you 10 years. Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that book at all, because if it's true, then it's true. So, there's nothing wrong with that book, man. Just like the Strong's Concordance, James Strong's, he put in all that time to make this book, and, we all use it as a tool to help us, become more familiar with the Bible. So, um, if someone took the time to say, hey, let's point out that, some of the things that we know for sure is Jesus in the Old Testament, and let's just put the actual Hebrew word there. There's nothing wrong with that tool. Now it's going to take away. It's going to take away like the meaning. Like, for instance, it's giving you the answer, but it's not showing you the work. So you really won't be able to talk about it a whole lot. All you'll be able to do is, that's Jesus. Oh yeah, let me show you something else. Right here, see that? That's Jesus. And then right here, that's Jesus. And it's like, okay, well, show me. Well, I am showing you. Look, right here, it's the Hebrew word. It's like, no, bro, nah, show me the work. Like,
Right here.
so
yeah.
yeah, so it's not going to be able to do that just by the way it sounds. But I will say this: uh, as long as it takes you to like where Jesus is, or whatnot, it gives you can at least study. You'll kind of have an idea where to study, so you can see.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Man, literally, like I just glanced over that book when I first got it. I was like, oh my gosh, like how could I? It's like I study so much, and then like I feel like I can never finish it, you know, until I'm dead, it's unalive, So it's like,
yeah, no,
there's just so much,
yeah, no, it
You know
is.
what's
It's
funny? I got a good example, Trot, of one of your favorite things to say, which is people are not going to let the Bible get in their way.
uh,
We were doing a study yesterday. We were talking about the shroud and all that stuff, right? And we started going into images and like icons in the other churches, right? And
yeah,
there's a scripture in Romans where it talks about the images, and even in like Acts it talks about it as well. And when you go to that word images, it literally is the Greek word icon. It's like they're like, now that doesn't mean icon though. Like, what do you mean it doesn't mean icon? It literally means
it,
it's literally saying icon, bro. Like they're like, nope, nope,
yeah,
nope. We're not letting that get in our way. We're gonna continue doing what we do. It's like, oh, okay, no
yeah,
problem.
yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna let that get in our way, man. Is that the Bible? Oh yeah. Nah, wait a minute. Sola Scriptura? Nah, nah, nah. We're not letting that get in our way. Yeah, yeah, man. Yes, sir. You know, and you know, I'll tell you, it's real easy to kind of, you know, that, like I was watching, I think did somebody send me a video? I think somebody sent me a video of this. Of like all the like like all the religions or whatever you want to call these things, like these cults like gone wrong or whatever. And you have this guy that man, I don't know the full story of this dude, but this dude, bro, like he got like 1,000 people to, like, I want to say they left America. I don't know where they went, but he got them to drink the Kool-Aid. You know where the phrase "don't drink the Kool-Aid" comes from, and they became unalive, like 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Jones.
I think that sounds familiar. Jim Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jim Jones.
So, yeah, where did this dude take everybody? Where'd they go?
To an island. They went up to this place,
Yeah.
this remote country island, something like that.
Yeah, so there was somebody sent me this, like, cults gone wrong or something. It's a radical stuff. Like, I'm not sure what this dude was telling them where, I don't, but apparently some senator, I'm guessing from America, went up there. Who knows? I mean, God, just the idea. Like, what was this senator told? Cuba. So it was in Cuba.
No, it
I
wasn't
don't
Cuba.
know.
It wasn't Cuba. No, it was not Cuba.
No, I don't know. Well, somebody look it up. Because I don't know.
It was not Cuba. They all sold their properties and everything, and they went and bought.
Jimmy Carter went to go visit him.
Say that again.
Okay,
Jay?
but the president?
Well, he was
wasn't the president
Jim
at the
Jones
time.
was like the pastor of the president. Yeah, he was well known with the president and everything. Yeah.
Okay,
But
well,
then they
removed
themselves
I'm not talking about
from
Jimmy
him.
Carter.
No,
Okay, look, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I think it was Jimmy Carter, and then he kind of like removed.
Okay, Jimmy
himself.
Carter is not who I'm talking about. So there was another senator that went down there because this senator ended up getting killed down there. Anyway, so Jimmy Carter may have went, but I'm not referring to him. There was a different senator.
Jimmy Carter didn't go. Jimmy Carter, I think he was, because he was a Christian. You know, Jimmy Carter. Remember, Jimmy Carter was also a Christian. So they had, they had a friendship, but I think Jimmy Carter pulled away from him when he realized this guy's not playing with the full deck. This is before.
I'm not trying to talk.
It was Guyana, Guyana. They went to Guyana and Jonestown, Guyana. Yeah.
Okay. Where exactly is that?
That's next to Venezuela.
Next to Venezuela. Okay. So they're in South America somewhere. Okay. Well, so I'm not trying to talk about Jimmy Carter because let's leave Jimmy Carter out of it. The politician that I'm referring to is the one that died up there. That's who I'm talking about. So,
well, I think he went over there to see what was going on because he heard that something shady was going on.
Who went over there, Jess?
Oh, I don't remember the name of the politician, but he knew that something shady.
No,
I think he had a family member or something. It was something weird like that.
Well, either way, I'm kind of like getting straight to the bone of what I've heard so far about this dude. But anyway, so this politician goes up there. It was a TikTok video, and it was like,
Leo Ryan.
Huh?
Leo Ryan.
Leo Ryan. Okay, so again, we'll say that's his name, but I personally don't know what his name is, but I'm gonna believe you that his name was Ryan. So let's say Senator Ryan went up there. And again, I only saw, just so people know, I only saw like a series of TikTok videos, right? 3 of them. So I don't know all the details. So if you don't know anything about it, just go look it up. I'm just telling you what I saw. And it's crazy. People get in awe, right, when you don't know everything about a story. And I'm like, God, dog, like when this came out, what did you go? You went to go get a bachelor's degree in this? Like, why would you care so much? Why would you get a degree in this story? All I need to know is, You know, this guy was like David Koresh telling everybody he's some kind of Messiah, maybe. I don't know. But so he gets up there, and again, I only saw each video might have been a minute or two long. So I seen 5 minutes of this of this story. I don't know a whole lot about it. But this guy, and again, according to the TikTok videos, okay? So if you're a what'd y'all say this guy's name was again?
Jim
Jim
Jones,
Jones.
bro.
Jim
Jim
Jones.
Jones. Okay. All right. So if you happen to be a Jim Jones scholar, which you should be a Jesus scholar, you know, nobody knows how to talk about Jesus for an hour. They can talk about Jim Jones for an hour. Something's wrong there. But well, anyway, so apparently Jim Jones had a secretary, and he told her, everyone needs to see a miracle. Hey, talk about feeding the belly. I'm telling you, man, this is so crazy. You know, how do you get people to believe you? You just feed their belly, bro. That's all you gotta do. Hey, they wanted to make Jesus king because he fed their belly king, bro. Jesus made their belly king happy, and the belly king said, hey, you need to make him king. But notice, they wanted to make him their physical king, if you understand, not the spiritual king. As soon as their belly got excited, they're like, we need to make him king. And Jesus goes, you only want to make me king because I fed your belly. That's the only reason why you want to make me king, which does nothing but prove that our physical belly is a monster, dude. It will get you to the point of these kind of things, man. And so this dude had a woman, of course he's sitting there praying, acting like, that the Holy Spirit's coming or whatnot, and got this lady he's like, come on out of that chair. And boy, he sounds like a preacher, the typical preacher voice. You can hear it. I said, come out of that chair, and he's got this, this preacher voice, because remember, when everybody starts talking about God, all of a sudden their voice changes all of a sudden. Is that you don't ever hear them talk to people like that in a normal setting, boy. But they get that mic and put them on the stage, boy. All of a sudden, the Holy Spirit takes over. They just change, like everything just changes. And he's yelling, this lady, come out of that chair, boy. She comes out of that chair, and everybody, boy, oh my Lord, like they're having a revival. I mean, boy, they are just bee's knees. And because of that lady that got out of that chair and made it look like a miracle took place and she can walk, it's a miracle. He gets all these people, man, to this place, wherever, we're saying, I guess, South America, where these people, dude, just the 5 minutes, the 3 clips that I saw, there was several people already freaking out when they got there, bro. I mean, how much money was put into this cultish? I mean, oh my Lord, I couldn't believe what I was seeing, dude. That people would fall so quickly to something like this, and all it does is prove even further that belly, people will follow their belly. Let me tell you something. I know, we've went over belly a lot, but I'm telling you. Oh my Lord. It says, the Bible, how it talks about that the great falling away and all that. How do you think that's going to happen? Because of the belly. That's how it's going to happen. It's going to say that this, and we'll use biblical terms, right? The beast, right? We'll just keep it that way. So there's going to be these signs and wonders. You know what kind of signs and wonders they're going to be? The kind your belly likes. That's what kind. You're going to be drinking a Kool-Aid like a mug, boy, because you failed to allow your spiritual eyes to be opened and for you to fully understand that there's another belly that we worship. And we don't worship our physical belly. And so when people are dying, think about it. Think about how many people are still under this impression that the glorious thing is for someone to get a physical healing. That's the glory of God. The glory of God is for someone to be physically healed. Oh man, there's people that'll argue with you and say, yes, yes, healing, yes. No, my friend. No, that's not the glory of God. No. The glory of God is for someone's spiritual eyes to be open and for them to be spiritually healed, my friend. That's the glory of God, not physical healing. God healing your physical flesh is not the glory. It's a byproduct. People do get healed today. Those things are true. They do happen. But when you put that over the spiritual, when you do that, you're in your belly. I'm sorry. There's no other way. There's no other way to say it. You're in your belly. And if you're led by your belly, then you better be careful. You might be one of the ones that fall away, because the physical glorious things are the things that you worship. You love those things. And it's not supposed to be that way. But anyway, so that's what this dude does. Gets this lady to lie about coming out of her chair. And boy, that right there flipped 1,000 people over. And now I don't know what in the world he was saying in that speech to get all these people. And then there was a photo, like there's photos of all these like metal buildings built out there. Let me say something to you. If you catch yourself being physically entertained, and you catch yourself in a place where they're telling you that everybody's got a job to do, and I don't know what was this guy saying, that let's take it back to the book of Acts. Guys, we're all going to give our money, and we're all going to give our money, and we're going to do it like the book of Acts. Oh my Lord, have mercy. I don't know. I'm not saying that he said that, but if he's using the Bible and he's already twisting people being healed, I mean, how far was he twisting stuff? I'm assuming. I don't know what he was saying, but it's, oh my Lord, man, and then they got him recorded telling, oh my Lord, I couldn't believe, and again, I'm not saying that all the recording that I heard is 100% true. I do not know. But if it is true, what it sounded like he said on the film or audio, he said he was literally saying, "Don't be scared. Like, don't be scared. Why are you scared to die?" Or why? I mean, I guess during the process when they were drinking this Kool-Aid, and apparently he had practice runs, where he would say, "All right, guys, we're going to drink this Kool-Aid," and everybody would drink it, and trying to get everybody used to doing that. And I'm like, man, so people noticed right away that this is just what is going on here. So when that senator went up there, he got on there and he goes, golly, it sounds like this is the best place to be. I mean, it seemed as though he might have had the senator fooled a little bit. I'm not saying he did. Maybe the senator was just, saying that so it looked like he believed it. I don't know, but the senator, they have audio of him saying, man, I'm talking to people here. They're saying this is the place to be. And everybody starts saying, yeah, this is the place to be. And I mean, just straight belly worship, dude. And then sure enough, somebody finally, these people are freaking out. They're like, man, this dude's going to believe that we're good. And so they go up to him like, hey, guys, dude, whoever you are, we're not good. This is bad. And so he's like, okay, well, if you want to leave, y'all will be, you'll be home. You'll go to America today, okay? And so there was a small group of them that were like, heck yeah, let's go. And then before you know it, the group gets a little bit bigger and they're all leaving. They're going to the runway. They're going to the plane, baby. It's time to go home. And so when they get there, I mean, they are met with people with rifles, Bubba, just gunning them down so they don't go anywhere. I'm like, oh my Lord, bro. Like, dude. So I don't know if this Jones guy went up to this, place in South America and like hired guerrillas, and if you don't know what that is, it's not talking about animals, and they're not being called guerrillas because of skin tone. Okay. They're called guerrillas because that's a type of warfare that they're using, guerrilla warfare, which means that there is no specific way that they're going to unalive you. They just straight up do it in any manner that they feel fit at the moment. They're just war terms. So put your red pen down. Don't get offended. It's not that serious. Well, anyway, so these guerrillas show up and just start. And what's weird is they fire and they don't kill everybody. So they just fire a bunch of rounds like a drive-by and leave. And I'm like, what? Like, bro, like, no offense. Y'all had one job. Like, I guarantee you nobody on the other side had guns. Maybe one person might have. I don't know. But there's probably 5 or 7 of y'all or something. And nobody, I mean, it's a perfect active shooter moment. How did y'all not unalive everybody? Like, I don't understand that either. Like, it's just very weird, the whole thing. But the senator that came, he gets unalived. And, some other people did too. And then, a bunch of scared people ran into the jungle, and they were there for a long time. But, man, dude, the story is just, wow. I mean, just berserk, that people, and I'm telling you, there are people today that would fall for that mess, dude. There are people today that would fall for that mess. And then, so first of all, it happens again. There were several of them in this clip that I watched. And then, of course, David Koresh one, that's the one that I remember because I was, I don't know if I saw it on TV. And what year, do y'all know what year the David Koresh thing happened? Let me see if I can look it up.
Isn't that in the late 80s, early 90s, something like that?
Yeah, but I'm asking for the year, not a guess.
I think it was in the 90s, wasn't it? I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm going to look. 96. Okay. Okay, so, I don't remember a whole lot about it. I was in high school at the time, and I felt like I saw it happen on TV, but like sometimes you think, okay, wait a minute, did I see a recording or did I actually see it live? I don't recall. When I was in high school, man, I was focused on sports and chores. I wasn't focused on the next cult leader, but okay, but if that year is correct, then it basically happened when I was in high school. And this guy, there's a show that come out. I don't know what the show is called, but it's about, like, I guess the life of the people out there in Waco or whatnot. And this guy was telling people he was the Messiah. And you know what? These people believed it. And I don't know what's all true, but I watched it. Oh, what?
No, I was just gonna read something. It's not about what you're saying though.
Oh, what is it?
Well, it's a Bible verse. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, read it.
Yeah. So I went over this with some of the sisters. Verse 37 of Genesis chapter 30, right? So we were studying this in the Hebrew. We were trying to break it down and all that. So it's now Jacob took for himself rods of green poplar and of the almond and chestnut trees, peeled white strips in them, and exposed the white which was in the rods. Hey, so we were breaking that down, right? So we all know Jesus is the rod. So that word green is it means fresh, I believe. I think it's green poplar. And of the almond and chestnut trees, something about like the watchers or something like that. But overall, man, like we broke it down, and it's basically saying that when Jacob took himself Jesus, and he peeled the white strips back, it represents Jesus when he was lashed and marred, and he became pure once he received that rod,
Yeah. I
It's be the green ropes with Samson.
Hey, I got a question, Flip.
Yo.
What you doing?
I'm eating manna, bruh.
Oh, okay. Just wondering how you got there from your thought process.
He's at the donut.
Yeah.
He's at the donut place, bro. Hey, Flip, you at that? Hey, are you at that donut place you always go to, bro?
Hey,
Nah,
how do you
Flip said,
know? How do you know,
Flip
bro?
Flip was like, listen, you guys are doing all this talking about these cult leaders, and we ain't talking about no Jesus. Enough of the cult
Yeah,
leaders. Let's talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, yeah. And
Hey,
hey, and I apologize. Hey, let me say this, man. Hey, listen, I apologize for, talking about it, but I think also it's important, because, when I was listening to this, I mean, bro, belly miles away, bro. So when people claim that they're so familiar with the Bible, and yet they're so easy at the same time, part of their like religious walk, if you want to call it that, is all focused on carnality. I'm like, man, you better be careful. Somebody going to come along and see you a mile away and take you to their little cultish building and make you drink some Kool-Aid, because you're still focused on the belly and you're not understanding. I'm telling you, there's been a lot of stuff that's been passed down from even from Christianity that people's families have passed down. It has nothing to do with Jesus at all. But a culture has passed these lies down, and people will not let the Bible get in their way. They want to believe these things, and it's like, bro, like, for instance, I don't want to digress into that any further.
Let me
But
ask you a question, Bible.
yeah,
Let me ask you a Bible question.
yeah.
And why would God ask Ezekiel to make bread with cow dung, bro? I'm still trying to. First, he said human dung, and then he's like, no. Well, I'm gonna let you do it with cow dung. Why? Like that is, I can't wrap my brain around that,
Oh
bro.
my Lord, bro, why are you always trying to suck me into Ezekiel, dude?
Because it's interesting, man.
Bro,
It's
the
good
answer is
stuff.
so easy, bro. Oh my Lord, come on, let's go to it. I'm
There's
telling
nothing
you right now.
unclean.
As soon as Jesse says the word revelation one time, bro, we're done. We're gonna go to something else. All right, come on.
Ezekiel 4:15. Hold on, let me go get my Bible. That's what I was on. I've been going through Ezekiel. I'm like, there's a lot of good, amazing stuff that I can see immediately from all of our descaling, but there's some stuff that I'm still like, what the heck? Like, what? I don't get it.
Are you still? Did you still? Are you still on the kidneys?
Man, yeah, man. I can't figure that daggone kidney stuff out, man. I figure I got to keep reading to get to it, to understand it. I just, bro, I don't know. That's
Hey,
another one right there, bro.
oh man, dude. I gave you such a huge hint, dude.
Yeah, I
Huge hint.
remember the hint. It's in the. I could say it right now. I know the hint, but I'm
What?
still. You said Trinity. You said the Trinity,
No, I don't use that word, sir. I did not say Trinity.
bro.
Guaranteed.
You did. I promise you, you did. You trying to throw me off the trail, man? That's what it was.
Hold on a second. Hold on. If I did, hold on, I apologize because I will say spirit, soul, and body. I would not say the word Trinity. So if I said the word Trinity, I must have been sick.
Maybe.
So so if
Oh,
I
this
said
coffee is
Trinity,
good.
oh, I know mine too. If I said Trinity, next to it in parentheses, put spirit, soul, and body.
Bro, my goal, Trot, is to, I was telling my buddy, I've always wanted to have a coffee shop. I love coffee. And I want to have a coffee
What?
shop that has like an area. Oh, yeah, 100%, bro. I want to do a coffee shop. My wife is still
So there you
pushing me
go,
like,
bro. Hey, look, bro, there it is right there, bro. You do the coffee shop thing, and Flip will make the donuts, bro. He'll make the
that's
manna.
what I'm saying. We make the manna, the
but
Y'all,
coffee, and then I want to do
hey,
the
y'all can,
Bible study. We could even call the coffee shop the D-Scale Coffee Shop. And then
I'll
we could
make
do
the
like
flan
Bible
and the
studies.
buding. Dre, I'll
no,
make the flan and the buding.
Jess, you just bring your kitchen. You just bring your kitchen in there, bro. All the chickens
I'll
everywhere.
bring my
hey,
roosters.
hey, I'll be the male model. I'll be the mascot.
Oh, Lord. So that means we're
Yeah,
going broke.
The
I'll
Don't
take off
even
my
mascot.
shirt.
Oh,
I'll
don't
get
even
more
open up. Don't even
bro,
trespassing.
open shop.
bro,
We
we don't
gotta
need a,
close the doors.
bro, we don't need a gangster in Dickies
I know,
modeling
man.
No,
for
I'll wear
descaled, bro.
shorts. I'll wear shorts,
Yeah.
man.
Okay. They make Dickie shorts, bro. Still.
Okay.
No.
I'm about to use the word R. I'm about to use the word that starts with an R if Flip doesn't mute.
Uh,
That
God.
retreat.
bro.
So Ezekiel 4:15 is where that particular verse. But if you, I mean, we have to read the whole Ezekiel chapter
Hold on.
4.
Hold on. You said Ezekiel 4.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's where the Ezekiel
Yeah.
bread is at, which is amazing. In verse 9, which is what Benny eats, which is take thou also the wheat and the barley and the beans and the lentils and the millet and the finches and
Yeah.
put
That's the
them into
Ezekiel
one
9
bread.
bread.
Oh yeah, that bread is
Yeah.
amazing, by the way.
Yeah. Which one is the dung?
It's verse first he says human dung, which is in
15,
verse 12.
15,
Verse
15.
12.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, when you
And
start,
he
when you
then
said, then
start
he
get,
said to me,
when,
see, I am giving you cow dung.
Jesse, it starts in
when you,
verse 12.
when
Yeah,
you
I know.
start getting into the, when you start getting into the teens though, man, if you don't understand the teens part of that, oh my Lord.
The what part? What are you saying?
And the teens, 13, 14, the teens, when
Oh,
you start
okay,
getting
okay,
into
okay.
the teens area there, uh, like that's the part where it's like, yeah, here it is. Let me see. Or I could be wrong, but I think it's the teens. Let's see. 11, drink the water. 12, eat. Yeah, yeah. 13 said, okay. Well, it is in the teens. Maybe it's 14. Yeah, 14 especially, bro. Big time.
I mean,
Yeah.
verse 11 talks about, it says, thou shalt drink also water by measure, 6 part of henny, or hen, sorry. I thought it said henny for a second. That's the,
Yeah,
that's the,
I'm talking about the
that's the
fact it
flip
starts talking
version.
about, yeah, I'm talking about where it starts talking about the soul not being polluted, and it starts going into uh to some other things. But what verse did you say the dung was at?
There's verse 12, it starts in verse
Oh,
12, because he says
is
human
it
dung
12?
first. Yeah.
Let's see.
First he says human dung that cometh out of man in their sight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whither I will drive them out. Then I said, oh, Lord God, exclamation mark. Behold, my soul has not been polluted, for from my youth up to till now I have not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh to my mouth. And then he said unto me, lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of the bread of Jerusalem, the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and he shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astoned with one another and consume away their iniquity. So I get that part. Like, that makes perfect sense. It's just
Yeah.
like, why did God
Did you?
throw that curveball in there?
Yeah. Did you look up dung in Hebrew?
Not yet, bro. I was just reading it.
Oh.
I haven't. Yeah, I was just like, what? Wait, hold on, what? So I don't know if
Sounds like
anybody has
they're
a second device.
sounds
Let
like
me just
they're
go
all
get it.
eating the same crap.
I need to. Oh my God, CJ, really?
Well, could it be uh,
Does it have anything to do with like unclean and like that
100% has to
laws
do with
about that?
unclean.
no, I think you
But he
think
had
it's
him do
unclean.
it
No,
anyway.
I think it's unclean.
All right. So let's
It's
ask this
because
question.
when it's a
Okay.
prophecy, isn't it a prophecy? So it's letting them no, they're not going to accept what I'm going to give them. So because they're not going to accept what I'm going to give them, which is spiritual, they're going to stay eating the
Oh, so
physical, which
God
is
is like,
desolate.
eat feces.
Okay. Well, here's
No,
the
no, no.
question.
It's not a physical feces, but in the physical, what they're doing has become like a feces because they're
Mhm.
going to defile themselves by not accepting the spiritual, which is what the shadow of what God is trying to give them, which is Christ. So they're going to stay in the physical, in the law, and that law is becoming like feces. This is a
Yeah, no, that's
prophecy of what's to come.
this is,
So So
literally.
the question is, what is this doing for anybody? In context, what is this doing? You have to stay in context. What is this doing? Is this killing people when they eat this? What is it saying it's doing?
It says let me go pop back. It says okay. In context, that they eat this in verse 17. God says, so they eat this that they may want bread and water and be astoned with one another and consume away their iniquity.
Okay, so first thing is when they eat this, right? What is the purpose of them eating it? Why? And then you said the answer is what?
So that they may want actual bread and water and be astoned with one another and consume away their iniquity.
Okay, so they're eating this for that. So now you have to go back and figure out what that is representing, the bread and water and the rest of that stuff. It has to stay in context. So,
yeah, dung in the original Hebrew, or in Hebrew, it just means dung, ball of dung. The variation thereof is still dung. Like there is no dung.
Yeah, but you always have to look it up because you have to make sure that that you understand what word is being used and where else is that word being used in the Old Testament and how is it being used. So whatever the word is for dung, what is it? Do you have the word right there, the Hebrew word?
Yep, I have it right in front of me.
What is it?
It is galel,
okay, so
H. You want the number?
No, I was just saying galel. However you pronounce it, galel. We'll just say that. So now you have to go look at how is that word galel used in other areas
verses. There's only four verses in the entire Old Testament.
Okay, so then look up the other three and just see how they're used so you can confirm.
Yeah, I can read it to you. It says in Job 27, it says, yet he has perished forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Ezekiel 4:12, which we just read. Ezekiel 4:15, which we just read. So there's only one other verse. So two other verses outside of that context.
So let me say this. There's two dungs. You have man's dung and cow's dung. Are they both the same word?
Yes, same dung word.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So out of the four, Ezekiel 4 uses that word twice.
Yep, correct.
So two times in Ezekiel, one time in Job, and what's the other one?
Zephaniah 1:17. It says, and I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
And their flesh as the dung. All right, read that again.
And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
Like, bro, it's so clear what the dung is. So clear, especially when he says they're going to eat cow's dung. It's so clear, man. But this is what I'm talking about. The reason why these things seem all mysterious, like a big mystery and all this, is because people are not familiar with the Bible. You have to be familiar with everything that the Bible points to, what it talks about. First of all, I don't think anybody will ever be perfect at it, but we do have a brain and we can remember like how certain things are used, like certain phrases, certain animals. You can remember these things. They're not hard to remember. It's just a little time consuming. Right. So you have the memory part, and then you have the parables, and they're all pointing and saying the same thing, but you just have to be familiar with all of them, with the parables, with the animals, and like everything just has to. I'm telling you, it's no different than watching a movie. You just have to watch it a million times. That's it. That's all you have to do. And of course, I don't want to leave the most important part out. a man that does not have the Holy Spirit, he can read this 1 billion times. Okay, so obviously the common denominator is the Spirit, period, and then the rest of the things fall into place after that. So the important one is the one that you just read right there. So make sense of that one first, bro, before you do Ezekiel.
Somebody cocking a body kit, man. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Somebody
that's me. I
go
got this
coyote hunting.
little fly gun that man, for some reason the flies are so bad in the country, bro. I've tried everything, bro. My wife is going nuts. And I don't know, it's not food left out. Obviously our house isn't nasty or anything like that, but it's just we live out in the country and the flies out here are incredible. I don't know where the heck these things come from, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly.
well, I'll tell you, I live out in the country. We have no flies over here, so it ain't the
Yeah.
country. So it's
No, it's definitely out here. We got a lot of like cattle and things like that, not too far off, and I think that's where they come from.
no, bro, it
But
ain't that either. It ain't that either because just not even a couple of years ago, this property, bro, it had like 20 head of cattle on it, and I was living here. There were no flies, so I'm not sure. You're gonna have to. They're obviously coming from somewhere. You just need to figure out what it is. So somebody out there might know. One of your neighbors out there, they might know. And if they say, "Oh, well, it's because of all the cow
Chickens? It's from
patties,"
the chickens, man. He has chickens.
yeah, my chickens are far though. Like I don't even have. Believe it or not, the chicken coop has no flies in it. It's just the house. For some reason, the house is like, and I put out on the property those fly catchers. I'm talking, they caught hundreds and thousands of flies in those things, and I put them up and change them out every week. But I cannot get rid of these flies, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, that's what you guys heard with me popping them with the salt gun.
yeah, Mimikuna,
You gotta rebuke those
Mimikuna.
flies, bro. Straight
Oh, here
up.
we go. Here we go. We're going to
Rebuke
rebuke them
it.
in the
Yeah.
name
Otherwise,
of Jesus. We're going to rebuke
the
the,
Lord of
Yeah,
the
the devil
that's
of
right.
flies.
flies.
Doesn't want you
Those
to
flies be
become the
coming
Lord
from
of the
Gehenna,
flies, you
bro.
know?
So let me see. Memukiana. Why would you? Why would you pick such a name? I have to know the story. Like
Mimikana,
what the heck is that? What is that?
bruh.
That
Huh?
Mimikana excuse, that's Trout's Texas ignorance right there. So stupid is
What
what
is
they
it?
call it. So don't worry about it. Just don't. It's
It
probably
still
just her
doesn't.
name, bro.
It still doesn't negate my question. What is that? Mimikana, can you tell me what the? Well, I was reading her comment. She said, "Flies can't survive right now in Texas heat, Trot." Well, I lived in Texas my whole life. No duh. No duh. I'm saying no matter what the temperature, like the area that I live in, it doesn't matter the temperature. We don't get overwhelmed with flies out here, and we got all the animals and everything. So obviously, those flies. I don't know. I don't know if the temperature there in the area you're at, bro, is like perfect, like consistently for flies to. Let me see. It is a nickname my kids gave me. Okay, thank you. See, I knew it. It sounded like kid talk, Mimikana. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Let's see. Yeah, Thrive. Thank you, RH. Yeah,
And we've had
there's
a
got to
bunch of
be a.
grasshoppers too this year, bro. Crazy amount of grasshoppers. Insane, bro. It's
Really?
like me and my wife were like, we're getting the heck up out of here, bro. We bought this house. We lived here for about a year and a half now. We're about to get up out of here, bro. As soon as we hit the 2 year mark, we're out of here, bro. I can't live here.
Really?
Can't take
Wow.
it.
So basically, so basically, whoever sold that house they're probably having the same problem.
No, the lady that lived in this house, she lived here for 30 plus years, bro. She's like the
Oh,
only owner. So she
oh,
loved it
wow.
apparently. She she loved this this kind of environment. People around here love it, I guess. I know they're used to it. I don't know. Maybe they have tricks of how to deal with it. I don't know. I don't. I've never dealt with anything like this in my life, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Dre, over here in South Dakota, man, the grasshoppers are all over the place here too. So
Oh, it's crazy, bro.
yeah, it's unreal. That and the flies and hornets and wasps, dude, they're all over the place.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let me see. I could just picture you with that gun just blasting away. I mean, how many flies are we talking about, bro? Like 10 or 20 a day or what?
Hey, can we go back to the verse? Can we just go back?
At
Let's
least
just go
20 a
back to
day,
the
bro. At
picture.
least 20 a day.
Okay,
I'm
we can
like
talk about
constantly
that.
having
Yeah.
to sweep
Flies later.
and deal with these things, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So where are we at in Ezekiel? Let me see.
You wanted us to read Zephaniah. I think
Yeah.
Zephaniah were 117. If somebody wants to read that real quick while I keep assaulting flies.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to read. Hold. Let me. We're gonna have to read the whole chapter. So what? Oh man.
I think it was Zephaniah 1:17. Let me go back. I could read it. Give me a second. Here we go.
What chapter did you say?
Chapter 1.
Yeah. Well, just read the whole chapter, bro.
All
Hey,
right, here
I
we
got
go.
you, bro. I got you, man.
All right, go ahead.
All right, the word of the Lord which came to Zephaniah the son of Cushi, the son of Gedaliah, the son of Amariah, the son of Hezekiah, in the days of Josiah, the son of Amon, king of Judah. I will utterly consume everything from the face of the land, says the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the birds of the heavens, the fish of the sea, and the stumbling blocks, along with the wicked. I will cut off man from the face of the land, says the Lord. I will stretch out my hand against Judah and against all the inhabitants of Jerusalem. I will cut off every trace of Baal from this place, the names of the idolatrous priests with the pagan priests, those who worship the hosts of heaven on the housetops, those who worship and swear oaths by the Lord, but who also swear by Milcom, those who have turned back and from following the Lord, and have not sought the Lord nor inquired of him. Be silent in the presence of the Lord God, for the day of the Lord is at hand. For the Lord has prepared a sacrifice. He has invited his guests. And it shall be in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with foreign apparel. In the day I will punish all those who leap over the threshold, who fill their master's house with violence and deceit. And there shall be on that day, says the Lord, the sound of a mournful cry from the fish gate, a wailing from the second quarter, and a loud crashing from the hills. Wail, you inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all those who handle money are cut off. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with lamps, and punish the men who are settled in complacency, who say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, nor will he do evil, or will he do evil. Therefore their goods shall become booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, but not drink their wine. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hastens quickly. The noise of the day of the Lord is bitter. There the mighty men shall cry out. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of devastation and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fortified cities and against the high towers. I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men. because they have sinned against the Lord. Their blood shall be poured out like dust, and their flesh like refuse. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he will make speedy riddance of all those who dwell in the land. Amen.
So is this a vision?
That's what it sounds like.
What they call a prophetic word. It's not a vision, because if it was a vision, he would have said at the beginning that
The
it's a
word of the
vision.
Lord came to Zephaniah. So
That's
yeah, I
that's the
guess it's a
that's the
prophetic
word. That's
word.
not a vision. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
it's a
word of knowledge. A
yeah, it's a
vision is
prophetic
when
word.
he would say, "And the Lord showed me," or
Yeah, prophecy.
yeah, this is a prophecy.
It's prophetic.
Well, that's why he's one
Well,
of the minor prophets.
yeah, that was New King James for you. That's not KJV. FYI. Looks like Brother Bill is trying to knock 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 at the door.
God bless everybody. Thank you, sir. What's going on,
What
guys?
up?
Nothing on the road, on the road. Road trip going. So I said I gotta take a break. Let me go pull over somewhere and get some breakfast.
Why don't you take a road trip to Cali? We'll show you how the West Coast parties.
I party for the Lord. We'll meet in Nevada if you want.
Yeah, I'm 4 hours away. Vegas, baby.
Come up to South Dakota. We'll chisel Trump's face into Mount Rushmore.
We're
Hey,
getting we're
uh,
getting his own mountain.
Bro, he getting his own island, dude. Oh man. Dude, did everyone take their where's everybody at? I guess I hushed everybody with the word of the Lord, huh? Come on.
You said amen, and that was it.
Yeah, I now somebody got to be preaching. Hmm. Well, fine. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth
Okay.
was without
So
form and void.
the question is anything stick out to anybody in
A
that
lot
in
of
that
things that
chapter?
stick out.
Okay, like what?
Well, one, it talks about the fish gate.
What
That's
about
the
it?
first time I've read that in the Bible. Fish
Yeah. So
gate.
what's the gate?
Jesus. Jesus is the gate.
Oh my God. Okay, Jesse, calm down. Calm down. My Lord have mercy.
Oh man, I've never studied Zephaniah to be honest.
No, I'm not talking about Zephaniah. Gate. Again,
Gate.
talking about when you're familiar with the Bible, gate a lot of times is talking about the same thing, no matter where you're reading about it. So what's the gate?
Like
We read in Samson about when he carried the gates, how Jesus went down into the pits and took the keys and opened the gate.
Well, I'm not asking where all the gates are in the Bible. I'm saying what are they? What is it? What is it?
man, this has been a while since I studied the gate. I think it's man, I don't want to guess wrong, man. It's the way. It's like a
I don't
way.
want to. Yeah.
Look,
So
Skip. Look at Tammy's answer.
Why are you telling us to look at Tammy's answer, Bill? What do you think about Tammy's answer?
I was saying to look at it. He said, I don't want to get the wrong answer. So I said, look at Tammy's answer then.
Tammy said Bill Gates. The Gate is an 80s movie. Oh, yeah, The Gate. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that movie, The Gate. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's something I gotta study.
So, why would it be called a fish gate?
That's a good question. Hey,
Fertility and abundance.
A fish is fertility, really. What religion? And what religion aspect?
In ours.
In ours?
No?
It's possible. Yeah, prove it. What verse tells us that?
It does.
Huh?
I Googled.
No. She said I Googled it.
Okay,
so there's Steph, there's two fish in the Bible, Steph.
Okay.
All right, let me say this. There's two Adams, right?
Right.
What's the two Adams? What are they called?
Christ and
No, first Adam and last Adam.
okay,
right?
First Adam, last Adam.
First Adam, last Adam. Okay, there's two women in the Bible. What are the two women?
Oz and Judah.
no, the bride
No,
and
I'm asking.
It's
I'm
Israel
asking.
and
I'm
the
asking.
Gentile.
I'm asking Steph.
Good Lord.
There's only one Steph in here. One Steph. Steph, what's the two women in the Bible?
Wisdom. Or are you talking about the woman that sits over them with the moon at her feet?
Yeah, so there's the bride and the whore.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now obviously wisdom is part of the bride, okay? But there's the bride and the whore. So there's two of everything in the Bible. In the garden, even though there's a lot of trees, there's two mentioned for a reason, okay? God and Satan. Real simple, right? So there's two fish in the Bible, and you brought up, I'll make you fishers of men, right? And so there's some verses that people will use to draw a fish and then put Jesus's name in it, and we have this icon of a fish because certain verses. But there's two fish in the Bible. Does anybody know what the other fish is? Anybody? It's funny. I call out one person and everybody
belly?
wants to talk.
It's Dagon.
Okay,
fish god.
Dagon, right. Fish god, right? Which is the belly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Jonah was in the belly of a great fish. So if you're not familiar with the Bible, if you're not familiar with it, you're not going to see it. So anytime somebody says, "Oh man, I tell them you're not familiar with the Bible, man. What you're familiar with is what you want to be familiar with. You're not familiar with the Bible. This stuff is not made up, man. You do have to be very familiar with the Bible to see how Jesus wrote this whole thing out. You do, 100%. And so the fish gate. Now, in context, what fish could this be talking about? Hey, Flip, go back to Fishgate, and I want you to read 2 verses before it and 2 verses after it.
All right, so verse 8, it shall be in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with foreign apparel. In the same day I will punish all those who leap over the threshold, who will fill their master's house with violence and deceit. So 2 verses after, that's verse 11. Wail, you inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all those who handle money are cut off. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with lamps and punish the men who are settled in complacency, who say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, nor will he do evil.
I'm sorry. I missed the fish gate, bro. What verse is the fish gate in?
That's verse 10.
It's
You
talking
said verses after and before.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. Well, because I'm doing like 5 things at once. What? Steph, what'd you say?
the belly, the fish gate. It's representing the fish we're in our bellies.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly what it's representing. Yes. There's 2 gates. There's 2 gates. There's two what did God say to Cain? What was a conversation? Let's go to it. Flip. Let's go to the conversation that God had with Cain before, like during this whole process of him unaliving his brother.
Asked him why his countenance, why was he angry,
Well, let's
right?
go to it. No, let's go. Let's
So
go
it's
to it.
Genesis
Let's read
chapter
it.
4. I can read it.
What?
And
Yeah,
Cain
read it real
talked,
quick.
and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Question mark. And he said, what hast thou done? Question mark. The voice of thy brother's blood crieth out unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond, sorry, shalt thou be on the earth. And Cain, I'm going to keep reading.
Um, give me a second. Where exactly is it?
Genesis 4.
5, Genesis 4:5. You need to start there. But he did not no 6. So the Lord, why are you angry and why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. Isn't that what you were asking, Trot? You went too far up, Drake. You needed to go to the conversation before he unalived his brother.
Yeah, I'm talking about sin lieth at the door. Hey, where's it at exactly?
6, that's 6 and 7. 4, 6, and 7.
Sin lieth at
Okay.
the door. Its desire should be for you, but you should be rule over it.
Right, you should be ruler over what?
Lebele.
Yep. All right. Hold on a second.
I'm going to start telling my wife, why art thou wroth? Why art thou wroth?
Why art thou rot?
Bro, I'm still not connecting the cow dung and the human dung, bro. I'm trying hard to see this. And you're like, it's so easy. Look, it's just so easy. And I'm sitting here losing my freaking.
Hey, you know how many times that I've given you the answer to something, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of them.
Oh my Lord. I'm really trying to figure this thing out. I think I'm thinking too hard into it. Um,
Well, I'll say this: it's actually an easy
Lord.
one.
Yeah, okay. For somebody who studied the Bible 15 years, 15 hours a day.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But still, I'm saying though, like, at least I know how to categorize them. Like, I remember which ones were, like which ones was kind of easy, which ones was hard, and this one's actually easy. But either way, so all right, so he tells Cain that sin lieth at the door, right? Has anybody looked up the door yet? Like, the hope to me bringing this one up in Hebrew. Has anybody looked it up?
The door? In
Okay.
Genesis chapter 4?
Yeah.
All right.
The word door. Like, how is someone already not on this? Oh, my Lord. CJ, where's CJ at? He leave?
It's in connection with.
No, he's here. What, Steph?
It's in connection with the city gates, when door is used.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's why. So remember, oh, let me go back.
Also, the door to the sheepfold too, Trot?
Well, obviously.
Okay.
So there's two entrances, 2 gates, 2 doors. There's 2.
The door means opening, doorway, entrance. The original Hebrew would be open, free, loosened, like loosening the donkey, to open oneself, to carve, to engrave, to set forth. So if I go back,
the word gate should be there. Is my point. So first of all, just so you know, it doesn't have to be there. The word gate doesn't have to be here.
It's in there. It's there. It's a door,
it's in there.
Gate, or entrance.
Yeah, it's in there. I remember. But the point is, this is why I brought it up, is because there's 2 entrances in a human. What are they? What are the 2 ways that a human could be used? Servitude. What are the 2 ways that a human could be used?
Hold on. Can you rephrase that? I'm trying to understand your question.
The 2 ways, for good or evil.
Yeah.
For good or evil.
Okay, Jesse, you give the answer, but the work. There's a part, and I'm going to keep telling you this. You're missing a important part. It's showing the work.
Oh, bro,
I'm not looking for the answer. Show the work. It's important. Like,
the evil was when
I don't want to give the
evil was when they disobeyed.
Jess, you're the one bringing up evil. Jess, you're the one bringing up evil. I never used the word evil.
Okay.
So listen,
I'm going to mute.
Servitude. All right. No, you don't have to mute. Just hear me out. Servitude. That's the only word I'm going to say. Servitude. What does that word in the Bible mean? What does it mean? Yeah, Benny hit it right on the head, like 100%. But there's two marks. I'm trying to do this without giving the answer. Like,
so is it with your mouth or with your hands? Is that what you mean? Like speaking?
I'm using the word servitude. I'm going to use the word servitude, man. Servitude. What does that word mean?
To serve, to love, to take care of.
Okay, but in the Bible, not in this world, in the Bible.
Is it? Well, I'm trying to understand the question because I'm obviously missing something here. So you said, what does the word servitude mean? When we talk about servitude, we talk about the servant. To be a servant, you have to be to have servitude. You have to be a servant, and we know.
Okay,
that
a servant to who? A servant to who?
God.
That's the only one you can serve?
No, obviously not. You can serve your belly, or you can serve God.
Okay. So
you either walk in the flesh, or you walk in the spirit. Your soul chooses to choose either flesh or spirit. So those are two servitudes. You can serve the flesh or serve the spirit.
Okay, all right. So this is why it's important. That's why I'm telling you, as a collective group, being familiar with the Bible matters. It matters 100%. because it all comes together. All of it does. None of it's left out. This is why it's important to understand spirit, soul, and body is so important. That's why it's important to understand that God is a spirit, soul, and body. Yeah, it's, oh my Lord, it's so important. So if we are a three-part being, what part does Satan use and what part does God use?
Obvious answer, right? The
God
God,
uses the spirit and Satan uses the body.
Okay,
the
are those
flesh, the
gates
flesh.
probably, could those be doors? Could those be gates? Guys, those are the gates. Those are the doors. So what is God telling Cain?
He said, let's go back to it. Hold on, my bad. He's talking about the gate, which is in
Sin
Ezekiel,
lies at the door, and
at the door, right?
and its desires for you, but you
What
should rule
door?
over it.
What door? What gate
Body.
is sin?
The
The
flesh.
Yeah.
okay. The flesh.
The
The
flesh.
flesh and spirit are enmity. They're
Yes.
enmity to one another. Okay. So what? Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right.
Bunch of darn vipers.
Well, I mean, first of all, yeah. Okay. So
I'm just giving you a hard time, bro.
nah.
Trot's out here like, you're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me,
Yep.
Smalls.
Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, look at Benny's comment that he just put up.
Amen.
Yep.
Okay.
Jesus
Okay,
defeated it, so the spirit defeats all.
Okay. So go back and read what God is saying to Cain. Go back and read it again out loud. Somebody. Anybody.
Yeah, all right. So, if you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. So when God speaks to us, even in the Bible like this, is it present, past, or future? Which one is it?
It's past tense because we've already been bought by the blood. That's
No,
And it's
it's
wrong.
present.
present.
It's
It's
wrong,
present.
bruh.
It's
It's past,
present.
present, and future.
Yeah,
Right. It's
Oh
past,
Lord.
present, and future. It's
he's
past,
outside of
present,
that.
and future. Listen, it's always been true from the very beginning to the very end. It will always be true. So if it was true back then, it's true right now. It's true in the future, which means God is always present. Always. Always
As a matter of
present.
fact, Trot,
May
that
it be
actually
on
brings
earth as
me
it is in
to
heaven.
that brings me to Ezekiel 18, where God even starts rebuking the generational curses, and he's like, if a father does good, will he not reward him that is good? And if a son does evil, he breaks that curse right then and there, where it's like, you don't just get this thing passed on. It's either if you worship the belly, you're going to be in the belly. If you worship the spirit, you're going to be in the spirit. And then nobody can hold you accountable. Like nobody can make you do either one. Like everybody's accountable for themselves is what he's saying in Ezekiel 18, basically.
All right. So let's get back to the original scripture that we were at. But you understand why it's important to be familiar with the Bible. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to. Go ahead.
I'm blown away by the Jonah and the fish, the great fish. That he's in his belly. That's why he's in the literal belly of a fish, because it was eating in his own belly.
And it's not
my mind.
Yeah, oh, I know, and it's not a coincidence that those people worship the fish god. It's not a coincidence. So when people say, "Oh, you just make the Bible say whatever you want," I'm telling you, the Bible says whatever it wants to say, and it doesn't change. But it's weird that the way it tells the story, if you can see what the Bible is saying, So here, now we only have two choices. Either you're making it up in your head or it's actually saying that and you can see it. It's one or the other. That's why Jesus was either God or a lunatic. It's one or the other. There is no gray area. This whole thing, oh, he's just a prophet, bro. This dude was either God or he's a complete lunatic. Period. There is no wiggle room on what he was. You either can see what he was or you cannot see who he is. And if you cannot see who he is, then it's your belly, that is trying to figure it out. You're using the wrong part of your body to figure out who God is. And that's why spirit, soul, and body is so important, because you need to dissect. The Bible gives us the answers. The problem is people don't know how to use faith to see it. And so making a disciple is showing someone how to receive from the Spirit, how to see the way that Jesus authored this whole thing. And I'm telling you, in a very short period of time, a person who is wanting to be discipled, they will be, and they will be receiving straight from the Father. You know, you won't need that person anymore that helped you see. I hate to put it that way, but it's true.
But how many people are like you and have the patience to disciple people? Because I would have loved to be discipled when I first got saved, but I mean, it's happening now.
Well, okay, no, it's a good question. Okay, so in America, right, if you just slow down, not you, but figuratively any person, if you just slow down and pay attention what Western society has turned, of course I'm using Christianity so we know what we're talking about here. But if you just slow down and you just look at what the Western, right, the Western view, if you look at their mindset on what they did to quote unquote Christianity, the whole goal was to hurry up and save people. That nowhere in the Bible does it talk about doing it that way. Jesus said, make disciples. And so someone gets this idea, well, if I can just go up to someone and say, okay, do you want to be saved? All right, I want you to repeat after me. And they repeat all this stuff. And they're like, okay, did you mean that from the bottom of your heart? So you're saved now? Hallelujah. That is not what we were told to do. That is a lie. That is not true. We were not told to do that. So when people say, well, how dare you? We're supposed to save people. No. No. Not like that. Not like that. How dare you, quote unquote, save somebody? That's what they're calling it. They're saving them. No, you're not. You're setting them up for failure. You're not saving them. Are you serious? These people, you save them, and then you go run to a bunch of group of unsaved people. These people that you just saved yesterday, they haven't even been discipled. So what are you claiming you saved them from? You think the idea is to save someone from hell. That's the idea. Where's the discipleship at? No, nothing can be further from the truth. That is a lie. And too many Christians believe that. And so when you speak against it, they're like, oh, well, how dare you? No, we're supposed to save people. Look, get out of your box. Get out of your box. Take your thumb out of your mouth. You're claiming to be a Christian because your parents were. You know nothing about the Bible at all. I can ask you 10 questions. You don't even understand how to even get the answer to the 10 questions. But because you were told, quote unquote, to go save people, that's what you're supposed to do. The Spirit saves, not your stupid words that come out of your mouth. That's not what saves. Okay? That's not what saves. And I'm talking about the attitude of, okay, are you a sinner? Okay, good. So say these words after. I'm talking about that action. That's not what saves. The Spirit saves. And when you're showing someone, when you're creating a disciple and you're showing them how Jesus wrote this stuff down, and you're showing them how to receive from the Father, not from you. You're not showing people how to receive from you. You're showing them how to receive from the Spirit. And once they start receiving from the Spirit, it no longer has anything to do with you anymore. Do you understand? Do you know why it's so easy for people to go to a church building, day in and day out, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, same church building. You know why it's so easy for them to go there? Because they're still looking for something. Don't you understand? Excuse me. They're still looking for something. As long as you make people, let me say this real quick. As long as you make people continuously feel like one day you'll get there. Well, heck, why would you ever stop coming to this building or church? I'm not talking about TikTok. I'm saying the pastor in their head. Why would they stop coming if I keep making them believe that one day you'll get there? So they go to the same building for 20 years because one day, rather than believing the truth that you already got it. It's a lie. It's a big lie. One of the biggest deceptions that ever came across what the purpose of what Christ came to do. The biggest deception is to keep you thinking that somehow you're separated from God. Now, the people will pass a test. You give them a test. Have you been united with God? Yes. Well, then why criest thou unto me? They'll say yes on the paper and then go crying to God every 30 seconds because they don't understand that they're allowing something to enter the gate the wrong way. Satan uses your flesh to get to you. Don't you understand? It's the gate. He uses the flesh. And what is the flesh? What is that? I go over this all the time. It's your feelings. Don't you understand? I say this all the time. It's your feelings. There are people that worship their feelings and they don't even know it. You worship your feelings. It's all about how you feel. And this is important because if you can't separate the two gates, if you can't separate the two bellies, if you don't understand spirit, soul, and body, I'm not talking about the words. Quit patting yourself on the back because you learned you were a spirit, soul, and body. I'm a spirit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about individually the spirit, individually the soul, individually the body, the difference, what they are, what role they play. I'm talking about really understanding those three parts. And there's too many people that they try to go study the Bible, all this other stuff. I'm going to study this. And you don't even understand spirit, soul, and body. I'm telling you, there's a lot of teaching that's involved in that. It's not just, oh, yeah, I'm a spirit, soul, and body. Again, here we go. You got a head knowledge. You couldn't talk to someone about spirit, soul, and body for 5 minutes. If you can't talk to someone about spirit, soul, and body for 5 minutes, you still are not grasping what I'm trying to tell you. You're not, period. I don't care. I don't care how much you've memorized things that we discuss on here. It's not rooted in you. It's still not rooted. And it takes time. It does. So, I don't want to leave that part out. It does. It takes some time, but being familiar with the Bible is very important because when you're reading it, the Spirit will be able to show you where all these other things are in the verses to help you understand what you're reading. You're not going to just pick up one of the books in the Bible and read it and say, because you'll hear people say, well, I'm confused. I don't know what it means. I'm telling you right now, your belly just became your God again because you're complaining about you don't know what something means. Just tell the truth. You don't know what it means because you're not familiar with the Bible as you're claiming. You need to start telling yourself the truth, that the reason that you don't understand what something means, it's your fault. It ain't God's fault. He's already given us the Spirit. Now, I don't know, everybody, whether you've received the baptism of the Holy Spirit or not. That's on you. But making a disciple is not the same thing as grabbing someone from the street and within 3 to 5 minutes, boy, they're saved. That is slothfulness. That's what God actually hates. And people think that's what God likes. No. That's what God hates. He hates laziness. That is lazy. Now, if that's how you became saved, then obviously that's what you have to give, right? So if someone came up to you and they're like, okay, and then within 3 minutes you're saved, you're like, hallelujah, I'm saved. Well, that's all you have to give. Don't you understand? So now you go to someone else and then 3-minute conversation, they're saved. And then they go somewhere, and before you know it, you have all these people that are quote unquote saved and have no idea how to receive spiritual truth. They don't know how. You know why? Because they weren't discipled.
Well, they
So,
forsake the fellowship of the brethren. Isn't the fellowship the disciple part?
well, it can be, okay. It can be, but you could be fellowshipping with people, with 10 people that got saved last week, and none of them's been discipled. So how are y'all going to disciple each other?
When I say
Understand?
fellowship, I'm talking about it should be a discipleship. The fellowship should be discipleship. That's what I think the fellowship should be.
Jesse,
It's
what
not
we
just
talked
getting
about
together
yesterday
and
morning.
having coffee time.
But again, how can it be discipleship when the 10 people that got saved last week, none of them has been discipled? How is anyone going to disciple anyone in that group?
Because the one who has been discipled should be discipling them, or the ones that are
Again,
discipled.
no, Jess, I said if none of them have been discipled, none, all 10, none of them were discipled, how are they going to disciple each other?
Oh, well, they can't.
Okay, so
Obviously,
that's the
they
point. Oh,
can't.
listen. So that's the point I'm making. That's what's happening. You're having all these people running out, save everybody. And these group of people that are quote unquote saved are bouncing around in the Bible completely blind. I'm sitting there telling you it is a disgrace what has happened. It's slothfulness, it's laziness. Nobody any longer wants to take the time to understand what they're reading. I'm sorry, Dre, what were you gonna say?
No, no, I was just gonna agree with you, and part of that is as an evangelist, like personally, I think, and this is something that Reinhard Bunke talked about a lot before he passed away, was as evangelists and preachers, you got to guide people to a mentor, to a discipler, somebody who's a teacher. There's a reason why we have teachers, pastors, evangelists, prophets, and apostles in the Bible. That's not there on accident. Everybody wants to be a prophet and an apostle, and everybody wants to be an evangelist, but you got to have the disciplers, the teachers that actually teach the word of God to these people. So going, and to your point, Trot, going somewhere and telling somebody to do the sinner's prayer and then walking away like, hey, I got 15 cards, 15 people accepted Jesus, and you have no idea like where these people are going from there. You're doing them a disservice. And all you're doing is setting them up to be bitter because they don't understand how God works to begin with. So now they think everything's supposed to magically just work for them. And that's why they say, oh, I accepted Jesus. But that's a bunch of phony stuff because, I accepted Christ and then I went through X, Y, and Z. And that's how I know God's not real because they never got to know God. And it's our job to connect people to the pastors, to the teachers, to disciple. And discipleship, that word, is not even used much anymore, bro. People go to church and they consider that discipleship. That is not, I'm going to repeat that. That is not discipleship. Going to sit in a pew 1 hour every Sunday is not discipleship at all. So
Hey,
we need to
No.
figure that stuff
I
out.
have, it reminds us, what do you think we have in the scripture when Philip went to the Ethiopian that was reading the scriptures, and he told him, he said, how could I understand what I'm reading when nobody has shown me? And then it took Philip to show him the word, to disciple him in order for him to understand what he was reading. Remember when he had the scroll of Isaiah?
Yeah,
So the
I
same
mean, I
thing.
wouldn't consider that discipleship, though. Discipleship takes years. Like God
Yeah, but I'm
discipled,
saying
Jesus
the
discipled
the
the apostles.
principle.
It took them 3.5 years, and they
Yeah,
still didn't have it.
Like
By
Paul
the
and
time he
I
left,
Timothy.
they still
understand.
didn't figure it
But
out.
the point there is showing that we as believers and some as teachers, we got to go out there and show them. He went and he read with him and he explained it to him. We don't have people that don't go and disciple. I'm in a group, for example, every Tuesday we meet with a bunch of believers, newcomers, and also elders that we get together and we study the word and we show the new believers. And those, I think, it's very important that as believers we should be doing in small congregations, in cell groups, at least once a week or twice a month, whatever you're able to do is get a group of people. If you're a teacher or a pastor, I know a lot of pastors here in Florida do that.
Yeah, I think here's the reality, Bill. I think the reality is that the mega churches in today's, and I know we're getting into church politics, but I love church politics to a certain extent. But the mega churches have kind of ruined Christianity, in my opinion, because not in because what's happened is that the church has become a Sunday morning event. And back in the day, I remember as a kid, bro, we would go to church quite a bit, and we had Bible study, we had Sunday school, we had discipleship, we had memory class where we had to memorize by scripture. We had all kinds of different things: men's ministry, women's ministry. We had men's retreat. We had POW. We had the Royal Rangers, the Misioneritas. We had all kinds of things that disciple people into understanding the Word of God. Obviously, not to the extent that Trot is doing here, as far as being descaled, which I think comes eventually. I mean, if Trot started talking to you about this stuff and you've never read one story in the Bible, it's going to be very difficult for you to understand Trot. And that's it's gonna, you got to read the Bible. You got, and he says it. He says you got to be familiar with the stories, and that's what the church used to do. At the very least, they would get you familiar with the stories. Today's day and age, a lot of these mega churches, you walk in, you get literally a 15-minute sermon, you get a hour and a half worship service, beautiful lights, this whole show. It's a big show, is what it is. And at the end of the day, you don't learn nothing. There is nothing there. And I send Trot videos all the time, like, what did you learn? And he'll send them to me and be like, what did you learn? Like, because we see different pastors and they literally say absolutely nothing on that pulpit except feed your belly and make you feel good about yourself. And the church has lost that. And we need to go back to the Sunday schools where you had teachers. Like, that's how my dad grew up, is being a Sunday school teacher, learning how to teach. People don't know how to teach, much less do they know. If you can't read the Bible for yourself, much less are you going to teach it. So we just need to focus on discipleship, man. It's very important. And this whole Western salvation thing, that just because you lifted up your hand and say, I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, that now you're saved. It's not how that works. That's just not how that works. That, I think that's an entrance point. It's a beginning point, maybe for some people to find the church, but discipleship has to happen. And it's not a coincidence that God discipled. Jesus discipled. He wasn't a pastor. He was a discipler, a teacher. He wasn't a synagogue leader. He didn't sit there at the synagogue. He taught people with his life day in and day out. And that is what descales the eyes of people, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree with you 110% on that, because I'm always saying it as well, that you go to the church, it's a concert. It's no longer to hear the word of God and learn the word of God. It's an entertainment. They got the big clock, 45 minutes. Next, bring on the next batch. It's just an emotional. And I say straight out, most of the churches have become emotionalism. It's all about getting into the people's belly, and I agree with you 110%. I grew up with that same thing. Well, when I came to the Lord, uh, we got to church an hour and a half early so we could get discipled with the Word of God in the study, in Sunday study classes. On Tuesdays we had prayer and studies, and then on Thursday it was strictly just prayer. You don't have that no more. You see, it's rare that you have a church that's doing all that.
I think with the sinner's prayer, there's more to accepting Christ in your heart than using your words. You have to, there's to be an outer change from, like you have to show your fruits by, you know what I'm saying? It's more than just speaking the words of you believe in Jesus.
Well, if we're going to talk about what is it, it's discipleship, right? So, and we are not supposed to do this whole sinner's prayer the way that it's been happening. If you're talking to someone about Christ and they get saved, the next step is discipling them. So don't misunderstand. You're not going to always be around that person. So, obviously it's understood that the seed is planted, right? One plants the seed, one waters it, but it's God that gives the increase. What I'm saying is every one of us should know how to disciple someone. The problem is the reason that that's not happening is because people are not being discipled. It's a very low number of people who are being discipled. And you know, it's always going to come back to this because this is what Jesus said to do. Go and make disciples. So this whole idea, oh, well, he was only talking to the disciples. Okay, so let's do this again. So Jesus was only talking to the 12 disciples to make disciples. So after they made disciples, those secondary disciples are not supposed to make disciples? So Jesus told the 12, go make disciples. So let's say every one of them got one and they made disciples. Is that supposed to continue? Is discipleship supposed to continue? The answer is 100% yes. So for anyone to say, oh, no, the discipleship, the disciples were told to go make one disciple each, and that's it. No more discipleship. Well, I tell you what, that's pretty much what people heard because it doesn't happen. There's no discipleship. And, you know, all that because we're reading. Let me get back to it. All this conversation came about because we're reading, was it Zephaniah 1, I think, right? Yeah. So we started off reading Zephaniah 1, and all that turned into, it went to discipleship. And it's because people are not familiar with the Bible. You have to be familiar with the Bible. You yourself, individually, you have to be familiar with the Bible. So let's see, 10, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Howl, ye inhabitants of Makketesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles. What candles?
Lamps?
What lamps?
Would that mean us?
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.
Okay, so what is the,
105.
yeah, but what is the lamp?
The word.
It's us being the light of
The spirit,
the word.
bro. The spirit.
Yeah, right. But when you're discipling someone, you need to show the work. Y'all are giving the answer, but where's the work to the answer? Where's the work? What's the lamp in the Bible?
Word of God. And we're supposed to carry
carnally, black letters on a white page. What's the lamp?
I'm confused. What's the question? I'm trying to understand your question.
The menorah.
Yeah.
The menorah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay, so that has to be told, right? So we don't leave out the black letters on a white page. We don't leave it out because they're the manna, the breadcrumbs to the spiritual truth. But you still got to bring it up because when it says right here, so spiritually, yes, let's see. I lost my place.
Oh.
Let's see. Therefore, right here, 12. Yeah, thank you. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their leals, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore, their goods shall become a booty. Y'all know what that is, a booty?
A treasure?
I'm not going to tell you, huh?
A treasure?
Oh, no. Booty, wait a minute. Oh, booty. I did that. That's in Ezekiel. Was it Isaiah or Ezekiel?
Well, context clues, it's not something good.
No, it's...
Well, I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad.
Oh man, come on. Where did I see that? I was doing that. I wrote it down somewhere. Wait, let me get my paperwork. Hold on.
All right. Well, Jess, mute your mic and let us know when you found it. But anyway, so let's see. I'm going back to 10. Okay, my bad. I thought it was.
We're on 13.
Yeah, no, I'm going back up though.
Got them a know the light.
No, yeah, it's 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate. Okay, all right. So in context, when you're reading this in context, I don't see a whole lot of good happening from from 6 to 12 or 13. You really don't see a whole lot of good. What you kind of see though is God pointing out that there's going to be some things cut off, right? And the reason why it's important, like when I went from Zephaniah to Cain being told by God that sin lieth at the door, you need to be able to start seeing like this poetry that's here. Jesus wrote this. He's the author. Jesus wrote this. And let me tell you, Zephaniah and Genesis, the people that wrote those books, there's some years between those books. It ain't like Genesis was written down and the next year Zephaniah was written down. It was some years, man. Some different people are writing this stuff down, but yet it still correlates. It still correlates with each other. So, I wasn't trying to digress, but what I'm trying to show is the reason that you're not understanding what you're reading is because you personally are not familiar with the Bible. That's why. So when people say, man, I'm just not getting it, be honest with yourself. Have you put enough time in this to get it? 99.9%, the answer is no, you have not. So if you personally have not put the time to become familiar with the Bible, number one, the blame is yours. Number one, okay, be honest with yourself. Okay, it is my fault. Okay, number two, what are you going to do to fix it? They ain't pretty simple. You need to start reading the Bible. I'm telling you, if you don't like reading the Bible, you need to get an Audible Bible. I don't know why. I feel like I got to repeat this all the time. Audible Bible, right? That is someone reading the Bible to you. At least hear the darn thing if you don't want to read it. Okay? If you didn't pass second grade, you got a second grade education, don't be afraid of it. Own it. And say, man, I got a third grade education. Okay, golly, do your ears work? Get an Audible Bible and let someone read it to you. For God's sakes, figure it out.
Okay,
I just said my first word yesterday.
Okay, I
What?
got it from, I don't know what I was studying,
Right.
but it's I got Speed the Spoil. So what is this? Hasten the booty. That's why I was looking. It was Isaiah 8:1. Speed the spoil, hasten the booty. And what I got out of it, it's swift, booty, speedy, prey. And I think it's 41:22 is the Hebrew.
Okay, so you're saying in Zephaniah the word booty is 41:22, would you say?
Well, wait, no. I'm saying in Isaiah 8:1 because
No. I'm talking
doing.
about Zephaniah. Listen, Zephaniah.
Okay.
Look up that word booty in Zephaniah.
Zephaniah
and
what?
Let us know.
Zephaniah what? I'm sorry.
What, Jess? What have you been doing for the past
I
5
got it,
minutes?
Trot. If you want me to read it to you,
Okay,
I
yeah,
got
let
it.
him do it. What have I been doing?
All
I
right.
was looking for the one I looked up. I thought you
Oh,
were.
well, how is that helping us right now, Jess? We're in Zephaniah.
Okay, bye. I'm gonna mute.
Hey,
Go
it might
ahead,
be the
Trip.
same. It might be the same word, but let's look up the Zephaniah one first. What you got,
Yeah.
Dre?
Give me a second. It is Zephaniah. It's the word. It's H4933, which is booty, spoil, plunder. So when you go to the other verses that use that verb, it's to me it's more of a plunder, like not a good thing. But anyways, so if you go to the original root word, it's to plunder or spoil, to plunder or to be plundered, to be rifled, in the
Yeah.
manner of being spoiled. So it's not treasure. It's the it's the opposite. It's not a treasure. It's
Yeah, but
not good
it's
to be
but it's
plundered.
plunder. Yeah, but it's plunder.
Yeah.
So plunder
Mhm.
is the scragglings. Plunder.
Mhm.
So if you put it in context, it says, and I'm going to use the word plunder, okay, just so it makes a little more sense. Therefore, their goods shall become plunder. Their goods. Do you understand? Their goods. The good thing becomes plunder, meaning
Right.
the scragglings, the crumbs from the master's table. It becomes, and I'm not trying to bring up the verse in the New Testament. I'm trying to show you that it's not the main part of the dish; it's the crumbs. It says, and their goods shall become plunder, and in context it says, and their house a desolation. So plunder and desolation are not good things. How do we know? Because it says, therefore their goods shall become plunder. Their goods shall become plunder. In their house desolation they shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. So this is not a good thing that's going on here. Excuse me. So a noise, this is 10 again. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate and a howling from the second. Hold on.
Meeting I have to go to. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll try to catch up with y'all whenever it might.
All right, Steph, have a good one.
Bye.
Okay, so Dre, where's the dung at? Remind me where it's at again. Is it
Ezekiel 4:12 and 15?
All right. Let me go to.
All right, I'm gonna shut down because I gotta start driving again. So
All right.
yeah, Dan or anybody just request you want to come up. God bless. I'll be listening
Yeah,
in chat.
actually, it's already 10. Let's pick up where we left off. So, let's see. Ezekiel 4. Yeah. I'm sorry, Dre. What'd you say? Ezekiel 4 what?
It's in verse 12 and verse 15 both.
Yeah, 12. That's right. Yeah. All right. So let's see. And it shall, let me just read 11. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin. From the time shalt thou drink, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. So it's doing it in front of them. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. I feel like I missed something.
I know the feeling.
I know the feeling. Or maybe I read it. Hold on. Did I miss it? Where's the cow dung, dude? Is that's further down?
That's in 15.
Yeah.
15.
15. My bad. Yeah. Then said I, "Oh Lord, behold, my soul hath not been polluted, for from my youth up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces? Neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for a man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just give the answer, because tomorrow it ain't going to take long for y'all start figuring out. So how about this? I'll say this. It comes down to what you numerate on. No? Okay.
What do you mean what you numerate on? Can you
What is
elaborate?
numeration? What is numeration?
It's a number?
No, not that numeration. To numerate.
Oh, I don't know. You got to talk to me in Spanish then, bro, because I'm not understanding the English.
All right. Let me see.
Either Spanish or Ebonics, bro, but you're going to have to break it down somehow.
All right. Let me see if I can say it a different. Okay, we'll just say this: chewing the cud. Chewing the cud. I'll say that. Benny. Hey, Benny said it already. Benny already said it. You don't remember we were going over that?
Oh, ruminate. I thought you said numerate.
Oh, did I say numerate?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, my bad. You should have corrected me. Yeah, you should have corrected me, bro.
I didn't know what you was talking about. That's all.
No, my bad. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Well, I did say chewing the cud after that, so.
Well, yeah. Now that you said chewing the cud, we understand what you're saying. But initially, you said numerate. I'm like, dang, numerate. I know God is a God of numbers, but good Lord, this one really threw me off.
As long as you understand what I'm saying now, I think that's all that's important. But either way, so chewing the cud. This is what we'll do. I pretty much gave you the answer, so it probably behoove you to go look over that a little bit. And tomorrow we'll pick up where we left off. I didn't want to get off and not at least say that. So that should at least lead you to something. And so tomorrow we'll pick up at Ezekiel 4. We'll just say Ezekiel 4. It doesn't have to be a specific verse. Has anybody got anything to say on the panel before we bounce? Oh,
No, sir. Nope.
Hey, Bill, I'm glad you said that, Bill. And he admitted he made a mistake. Yeah, I'll admit when I do. I'll admit it when I do. So anyway, if nobody has anything to say, we're gonna bounce, and we will pick up at Ezekiel 4 tomorrow.
God bless.
So God bless. We'll see y'all in the morning.
God bless. Take care.
Good day.
Later. Yeah.
Blessings.
Oh, my bad. Hey guys, we're probably having a 2-a-day. Dre, you gonna be able to do a 2-a-day today?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So guys, we'll probably have a 2-a-day today, more likely, and it's going to be 6 o'clock Central Time. 6 o'clock Central. 6 o'clock Central Time. And we might pick up if there's enough people in the room. We might pick up on Ezekiel 4. I don't know. We'll see. But until then, we'll see y'all guys. God bless.
Alrighty. God bless.